Why is the GOP so concerned about who funds the No Kings protest? Do they really believe that 7 million people in 50 states and more than 2,600 cities are only there because they're being paid? Why else would they want to protest? Wouldn't you assume that people who live in a democracy with very clear rules and laws would protest when those well-established standards are openly violated? Shouldn't the American people, right-wing and left-wing, protest when a president becomes $1.5 billion richer in less than a year due to manipulating his office and his authority? Shouldn't the American people, conservative or liberal, protest when an openly corrupt government gives $40 billion to a country famous for never paying back loans? Shouldn't the American people, red or blue, protest when a corrupt government that just went on a firing and biased budget cut spree then adds $4.1 trillion to the national debt with the audacity to call that move big or beautiful? Shouldn't people, all of them, take to the streets when a political party chooses to openly protect pedophiles by shutting down the government to keep those names hidden? I think they should. I think people, men, women, husbands, wives, religious leaders, atheists, craftsmen, artists, businessmen, and workers of all types should protest, must protest, when they are clearly being lied to, not being fairly represented, and their lives, their future, are put in jeopardy. Finally, of all those billions and trillions of dollars being wasted and disappearing into the shadow realm to further enrich the wealthy, are we supposed to sit in silence as the American people, black, white, brown, all colors, continue dying from a lack of health care that is about to get criminally more expensive? The real question here is not who's financing the protest. The question is who's paying or controlling people like Ted Cruz, J.D. Vance, Mike Johnson, and others to spread the lie that a No Kings protest, the original of which gave birth to this nation, is somehow un-American. We need to know who pays and or influences our elected politicians to violate their oath and ignore the Constitution, and instead serve the wealthy, powerful individuals and corporations like healthcare and fossil fuel industries, while knowingly allowing any single American, any person, to suffer needlessly. No, we will ask important questions and we will demand answers. Let's demand the truth and require accountability. I'm not talking about violence, and I'm not even talking about aggression. If the law is being followed and the Constitution is being honored rather than reshaped only to serve the wealthy, then there's no need for violence. Our Constitution is very powerful. It's also very fragile, and it can be damaged by weak, compromised individuals and even those whose job it is to interpret and protect said Constitution. This document only has value when it is being upheld and defended. The No Kings protest is simply a stern reminder to those we have chosen to put in power to honor the Constitution that over 40 million people have served to defend. P.S. 7 million people just marched, and there was no violence. 7 million and many millions more support this movement. It's time for elected officials to receive the message of millions in the spirit it was sent and to honor the Constitution and honor the oath that they took.